Hey, what's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an amazing thumbnail with Canva for your podcast, as well as show you my thumbnail secret weapon, which is a mini-me to the thumbnail. Thumbnails play a significant role in determining whether viewers will scroll past your video or click on. A compelling and visually compelling thumbnail can increase your video's CTR, which is click-through rate. The size of your thumbnail is also important, and you want to make sure that your thumbnail that you create is the standard size of 1280 by 720. Now that we're done with all those preliminaries, let's go to the computer and open up the Canva project. As you can see, we have the Canva project or Canva page pulled up here. And what you want to do on Canva, you want to search for YouTube thumbnail. And I already have it searched in here or in the search box there. And what this is going to do is that's just going to bring up a ton of YouTube thumbnail templates, right? And so what we want to do is you just want to go ahead and select a thumbnail because we're going to edit it anyway. So we're going to change it. So I'm just going to find a thumbnail to select. I'm going to choose this one. Actually, we want to probably choose one that's related to podcasts. So, but I'll show you how we're going to dive a little deeper on that. So I'm just going to choose this one. Of course, Canva's going to ask me, do you want to customize this? Yes, I do. And so I already have it pulled up on one of the tabs on my screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to that tab. All right. And so we're going to actually dive a little deeper for finding a thumbnail. So I want to actually pull up all podcast thumbnails now that I'm on this screen, because our first choice was to pull up YouTube thumbnails. Now we're going to dive a little deeper and go to podcast thumbnails. And it's just going to give you a bunch of templates related to podcasts. And actually, I'm going to show you the one I chose. I chose this one here. I'm going to tell you why I chose this one here, because first of all, when I do a thumbnail for a podcast or for my podcast, I wanted to make sure that I had pictures of the guests and maybe for myself if I wanted to add myself. So as you can see, this thumbnail has pictures that we can feature guests and yourself if you want to. I also want to use a thumbnail where I can include, or it has space where I can include the names of the guests or multiple guests if you're having multiple guests. I also want to be able to add my logo, some branding, right? So I want to put my branding on this thumbnail, and I also want to put on this thumbnail how the thumbnail will be broadcast, whether it's going to be on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. I want to indicate that on this thumbnail as well, just so that anybody that sees this thumbnail, they'll be able to see that, oh, how the episode would be broadcast. And so that's kind of how I break it down, how I want to create a thumbnail. And this is actually the thumbnail that I use for my podcast or our podcast. And I'm going to show you the end results of what I did to this thumbnail, because I changed it because I like that thumbnail, but I think it's just a little boring. So I wanted to add some other features to it. But I want to show you this too, right? So I also came across in my search of the podcast thumbnails, I came across another thumbnail that caught my attention, and it's actually this one right here. And actually I have it right here. I like the fonts of this thumbnail, and it really sticks out and stands out. So I like the fonts of this thumbnail. So I actually put together those two, or I used those two thumbnails to put together a thumbnail for our podcast. So I use this one, and I also use the fonts for this one because I like how the fonts are big, they stand out, and it's just straight and to the point. And I'm going to show you what I did. And so how you change the photos on here is basically you're going to upload your photos inside of Canva, and from your photos, you'll put those on your project. And I actually have those in a tab here, right? So here are some photos that I used on a thumbnail. And I'm going to show you the end results of this in just a second. So I'm going to take this photo, I'm going to copy it, or maybe I should cut it, but I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to throw myself in there just like that, and that's all you have to do. Now, of course, you can see I was cut off, so I'm just going to scoot me over, and voila, there I am in the photo. And then I'm also going to get my friend here, Mr. Charlton Lewis, and I'm going to put him in this. And so as you can see, we're building. Let me scoot that over just a little bit, just so that we capture more of him. Also scoot me over so I capture a little bit more of me. And so we're building this thumbnail out. So again, let me move myself over. So again, we're using photos of our guests and myself, or you can use yourself. And so, like I said, I wanted to change the fonts of this, and so I took the fonts of this and I put it on here. So I'm gonna remove all of these, and I'm gonna show you our end result. Here is our end result. And so again, I took these fonts and I just changed the colors. So basically, you're gonna just copy this, we're going to remove these. Actually, let me leave that, because that's where our guest name is going to go. I'm going to get rid of that too, and that, and I'm going to put it there. Right. So we're going to center this. That's it. And you can change, like I said, you want to change the color. Maybe you got a different color, or your branding is different. And so we're going to change this to live chat with. See how it's coming together? And we're going to take this. Actually, we want both of these. So you just want to hold down Shift, copy both of those, and put that there. Move this over. You may have to reduce your thumbnail size if all the words don't fit. And so that's what I'm going to have to do here. Do that in just a second. So let's reduce that thumbnail size just like that. All right, so we have our fonts. Actually, I changed that to gold. I think that's what color that is. There we go. That's our finished one. So we're putting it together here. And so we have our guests, we have our pictures of our guests. We have our font that stands out. We have who we're talking to, right? And actually, this is Charlton Lewis. And this is my friend Charlton Lewis. He is the host and founder of Just Teach Ministries YouTube page. And we're going to change that. I'm going to put a little shadow on our text. Let me move me out the way so that I can see my shadow here. Change that to black so that his name sticks out. All right, so we have who we're talking with. We have our guest picture, who we're talking with, Charlton Lewis. And we got also what Charlton, or what he's associated with. So live chat with Just Teach Ministries. And as you can see, we got Charlton Lewis. So it's Charlton Lewis of Just Teach Ministries. Now, we also want to add on here, like I said, you may want to add your logo. And like I said, you want to add how your podcast is broadcast, right? So I added like I stream on Facebook and YouTube. So I want to take some of those icons and put them on this thumbnail just so that you see it. And I have them here, but you'll get your elements here inside of Canva. So you just type Facebook, right? And it pulls up these. And here it is here. And you just add that to your project. All right. And we're gonna go with YouTube. So if you maybe you stream, or maybe you on iTunes, right? So boy, that came out big. You can search for the icon in the elements of Canva as well. Right? And I also have this. This is a different font, but I broadcast live, at least with these I do. I'm gonna put that there. And also I have my logo. 24-Hour Boss Podcast. And just like that, we have our thumbnail. Voila. Right? So we just put that together. So again, that's how I do my thumbnail. Now you don't have to do it that way, but I like to do that because, like I said, I think that's captivating. I think that's inviting, and that shows you what this episode is going to be about. And the cool thing about this is when you in Canva, the cool thing about this is when you're getting ready for your next show, all you have to do is duplicate this, right? And all you have to do is add the photo to your next guest, just like right here, right? I have, this is Tammy Sheehan Bade. She was a guest as well. So I'm going to attach this image. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to show you. Paste it on here. So when you're getting ready for your next guest and it's time for you to create your new thumbnail, all you have to do is slide your new photo in, change the name, change this of who your guest is associated with, and you're good to go. And you can just keep duplicating and go on and on and on, right? And so the last thing I'm going to show you in this is the secret weapon or the tag-along thumbnail for this. And that is resizing this thumbnail to the standard Instagram size. And actually we're gonna go here to resize and we're gonna type Instagram. And we're looking for this right here, 1080 by 1080. And so you just hit continue. And then Canva's gonna ask you, do you want to resize the existing design without creating a copy? If you don't want to create a copy of this, you click here, but I want to create a copy of this because I want to keep these. So if you want to keep your original thumbnail, don't select the checkbox there. But you'll click the resize and then it's going to create a new resize for you. And I have the tab already pulled up, but it's going to be a smaller size, right? And so here it is right here. And it's a smaller size. And I'm going to tell you why I do this is because if you post a thumbnail at regular size, 1280 by 720, then you're going to see that some of it's going to get cut off on the post. Like if you try to post it to YouTube community, or if you post it on Facebook, some of the graphic is going to get cut off and you'll have to click on it. But the Instagram size, the standard 1080 by 1080, is the perfect size for your viewers or those that follow you to see that graphic. And so you won't have to worry about them not being able to see, because when you post it at the 1280 by 720, some of it gets cut off and they'll have to click to view it. But when you resize it and make it the Instagram size, as you can see here, all you have to do is resize your photos here. Just resize everything. Now, you may have to take some time with this to get it just right, but we're going to just readjust with our guest name there, and we'll make these here. We'll make these a little bigger just so that we fill in that space, right? And this, we can make this bigger just so that we fill in that space. The mouse doesn't want to act right. All right, there we go. There we go. So just adjust that. And there you go. And now you have a post or a graphic that you can share on any platform. This will work on, like I said, Instagram. It's perfect size on Instagram, Facebook, and even YouTube community. It'll show just like this. It'll show perfectly, where you have to actually click on the photo to be able to see everything. When I share a graphic online, I want people to just be able to see it without having to make any type of adjustments. And so that's basically it. That's basically it. But you got your original thumbnail, and now you have your thumbnail secret weapon of the mini-me to the thumbnail, which you can share on all of your different platforms. This will also work. This size will also work in stories, so it works well in stories as well. And like I said, you just maybe have to play around with it to adjust your photos and your text, just so that everything fits and is aligned just right. But that's pretty much it. And after your thumbnail is complete, you just want to go ahead and download it in Canva. Just go to the share button, select the page that you want, and download it and upload it to either YouTube or your streaming platform. Well, that's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts as well as your comments or questions down below. Now go out there and create some good content, and we'll see you in the next video.